Hello, stamping friends. It's Angie here with Too Cool Stamping. It's so good to be with you again. I am so glad to be here. We have another live class, and just a reminder, I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, independent demonstrator, so if you're interested in any of the products, you can always contact me and shop at my online store. You can find that at toocoolstamping.com and click on the Shop Now link. So I wanted to jump right in. We have a beautiful class. I love this whole suite, is absolutely gorgeous in my opinion. It's the Nature's Prints stamp set and bundle, and then it also goes with the Sun Prints paper. And I can't remember, let me see what the name of the die set is. Natural Prints dies that go with it. Beautiful, beautiful collection of products. And I love all of the different blues and white. Just really classy and elegant, and just perfect for so many different occasions. So we're gonna work with those products today. And before we get started, I haven't talked to you in a while. I wanted to just remind you of all of the stuff going on right now with Stampin' Up! Because we're right in the middle of the second celebration for the year. Just a couple more weeks left, and they did, since I've talked to you last, announce some additional products. So for those of you who don't know, Celebration, we have a flyer that if you have a $50 or $100 order, you can choose something for free out of that flyer. You can go to my website, toocoolstamping.com, for a link to that so you can see what is available to earn for those two different either $50 or $100 purchases. And then just for this month, they also released 10 additional items, which I was so excited to hear, because sometimes, you know, if you have several orders, you might not like everything in the flyer. You might start having so many things that you have to choose multiples. Well, now there are 10 additional selections. So I'm going to read those off to you really quickly. You can get a flyer with all of those listed at, of course, my toocoolstamping.com website, and just scroll down, you'll see a link for that. But there's some really awesome products here. And these are products either from the annual catalog or the mini catalog. You have several embossing folders. The Timber is classic. That's a must-have. The Gingham embossing folder, that's also a really awesome one. The Seashells, if you have that set that goes with it, the Friends Are Like Seashells, just awesome. Let's see, we have some beautiful foil papers. The Brushed Metallics are the gold, kind of different versions of gold with matte and striped kind of a finish, and then also the silver foil specialty packs. So each of those kind of, one has a gold finish, one has a silver finish, but they have, or I should say a gold color and a silver color, but each one has 3 different finishes of that gold or silver. So really, really pretty. Check that out. There's some dies that are available, Flowers of Home dies, the Dots and Spots die. I love that. It cuts out little polka dot holes for a really cool background, fun for birthdays. Daffodil dies. I had a class with daffodils, so you might have that already, but it's a really good one that goes with the stamp set. My favorite on here is the Aspen Tree dies. If you've seen my blog recently, I've had a few different cards with that, and I love that die set. Really, really pretty. It's great for fall cards, sympathy cards, masculine cards, really awesome. Even if you didn't buy the stamp set that went with it, it would really be great with just the dies. And then there's the craft gift boxes. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. So anyway, here's the flyer. Again, go to toocoolstamping.com, and I have a link there. You can print that out. And those are, several of those are, you can earn for $50 orders, and then the dies are for a $100 order. So really awesome selections. I'm so glad that they added those. Also, don't forget, when you have a $300 order through the Celebration promotion, which lasts through the end of August, then you'll get that Perfect Pomegranate stamp set. And if you purchase that starter kit during this promotion, you'll get the Making Plans collection. That includes this really awesome planner. Look how beautiful that is. I love it. It has all of the different, you can have all the different months and weeks for a year and a half worth of planning. It comes with all the pages for that. It comes with some fun stickers so you can dress it up and, you know, make it really fun. It also comes with 3 different journals. So there's one with blank pages, one with lined pages, and one with like a dot pattern. So you can make little sketches of things, cards, or whatever projects that you're working on. And then also a stamp set that goes with it, making plans. So you can add other touches to your planner. So this is a really fun addition to the starter kit if you purchase that $99 starter kit before the end of August. Let me get this out of the way here. And don't forget the starter kit, always a great deal, always a fantastic value. You only pay $99. You get to select $125 worth of product. You get free shipping on all of that. This is every day. This is not just during celebration. You also are going to get a sample paper pumpkin kit in your starter kit. You're going to get some business supplies. So if you want to sell, you don't have to. It's not an obligation. You don't have to do what I do or even sell to anyone else. You can just enjoy the discount, the 20% discount, as a hobbyist. You know, just get it, have happy discount shopping. So you get all of that. You get that 20% off that you can enjoy. Plus, you're going to be a part of the Too Cool Stampers team. We have some special perks just for being involved with that. We have a Facebook community where you can go and ask questions, share ideas, inspiration. We also have, you can pay for kits instead of earning them by placing an order with me. You would place them with yourself and get that discount. And then just, if you wanted one of my kits, you could just purchase that outright. And I do offer a discount just for my team for those. And we also have a monthly get-together on our Zoom. So it doesn't matter where you are in the country, you can join us every month via that Zoom conference call. We have presentations, we do challenges, raffles, prize drawings. We recognize our top salespeople, our top recruiting people. And we also have a make and take kit that goes along with it. So really a fun thing. Lots of fun perks for being a part of my team. If you want to know more, you can just message me and I'll be happy to let you know more. You can go to toocoolstamping.com and click on the side. There is a join my team link and you can get more information there as well. Okay, let's get on to the fun. I haven't seen you guys forever. So I'm so excited to see you. Let's turn everything around. So hold on, you know the drill. Little roller coaster ride. With my awesome lamp. All right. So let me just move this a little bit. I have it a little too far. You can see, can't see my whole, haven't done this in a while. I'm out of practice on where to end that. All right. So let's, first of all, let me just remind you, I usually do a kit and I'm going to do a kit for this one. I have a host code so that I'm going to show you 5 different cards. You'll see how to make those cards here. And then if you want all the parts and pieces to make those 5 cards, you can just simply place a $40 or more order with me. And be sure to use that host code, NGZRMGGR. And that's going to be on the checkout page right at the top right-hand side of the checkout page. You add that host code. I will know exactly what kit that you would like with that $40 minimum order. And you have until the 23rd of August to earn the kit, and then I'll be mailing those out around August 30th. So let's show you what we're going to be featuring with our cards today. So this is the Nature's Print stamp set. I love anything that has any kind of nature-y, floral, kind of layered stamped images. I love that. I love that there's a little splotchy textured background you can use, and then some really pretty sentiments as well that cover a lot of different occasions. So we're going to be using this stamp set. There's also the coordinating die set, which I love. Not only are you getting all of the outline images for your different plants, but you're going to get some other pieces as well. So these are die cuts that you can just cut out cardstock. There's this beautiful wreath. I'm sorry I didn't even use this for our cards today, but this is such a beautiful wreath that you can use, you know, for a beautiful focal point. And then also, there's this really pretty label. So this can be used with anything. Love that shape, really elegant. So we'll be using a lot of these dies today. And then the other cool part of this collection is the paper that goes with it. There's actually two different kinds of paper. One is kind of more of a multicolor. There's 4 different colors with it. I believe it's called Nature Prints paper. We're not using those with this card. I wanted to, or with this class, we're using the Sun Prints, and I just wanted to stick with the blues. I just love these blue and gray granite colors, and it's all the blues. It's like Night of Navy, Pacific Point, Starry Sky, all of that. It's just really, really pretty, and it goes so well with that gray granite. Very elegant and just absolutely gorgeous. So you'll see, I don't know if you guys remember, I remember I used to work at an art store, and we had this special sun print paper that you go outside and you lay a leaf or, you know, a weed or something on it, and you leave it out in the sun, and it would turn white wherever the, or it would stay white wherever the leaf was, and the rest of it would turn blue. And that is what this is based off of. I just love that. We use that a lot. So here's our different patterns. Lots of gray granite. I love this subtle, just a really subtle background. There's a little bit of text that you can't read what it says, but you can tell that it's text. Some pretty florals there, almost like dandelions. This one has kind of, let me turn my light on here. So this one has, it's more of a scrapbook type of a page. It's kind of blank at the top with the weeds and everything at the bottom. So, and then the back is just a beautiful mottled, almost like a night cloudy sky. This one has some different weed looking things, some ferny looking things on this side, and then some just different multicolored splotchiness, great background. Stripes, of course, go well with everything. These little dots in Night of Navy go well with everything. And then another gray granite. So just really, really elegant and pretty. So we're going to be using a lot of those on today's cards as well. All right, let's jump right in and get started with the first card. And this one, we're going to start with gray granite as our card base. It's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And of course, we're going to use our bone folder to make a nice crease. This is going to be a horizontal card. I have a piece here of Night of Navy. This is 5 by 3 3/4. And then a couple of pieces of the Designer Series paper, those sun print patterns. This is that just kind of mottled sky look. This one is going to be 3 7/8, or sorry, 4 7/8 by 2 7/8. And that's going to go on here like this. And then we'll have a nice little strip here. This is going to be 4 7/8 by 3/4. So let's add that with some of our seal adhesive. That's my go-to. And I'm just going to leave like maybe 1/8 of an inch border. This card is a case of a really pretty swap card that I received from Lori Krause. So thank you, Lori. Really loved your card. So this is going to go directly on the card front here. The other part of this suite that I love, that I forgot to mention, was the embossing folder that goes with it. It's called Fern. And if you can, hopefully you can see that in the light, all the different textures with Fern, the Fern image. And I just have a piece here of basic white. This is a 3 by 4. And we'll put that right on the middle of the card. So now we're going to have a nice foundation. And then I'm going to make this pretty simple. I've already stamped one of the images and die cut it, and I stamped it with Starry Sky. That kind of matches that background paper. And I used the natural Prints dies to cut that out, so that's ready to go. And I'm going to pop that up with some dimensionals. So we'll put several of those. And you might even want to use some mini dimensionals so that you can have a little bit more support under there. So there's lots of other places. Let's put one more over here so we don't have quite as many empty areas. And then we're just going to add this kind of like that. So it's busting out a little bit over here. It's kind of breaking out of that wall down there. And then we'll finish up with a sentiment. Just really simple. I've already die cut one of the shapes from the natural Prints dies. And we'll select one of those pretty sentiments. I'm going to stamp it in Night of Navy. A heartfelt thank you. And I'm going to stamp it over here just to see how crooked it is, because sometimes they get a little crooked on your block when it's the rubber. So I didn't get a very good image there, but you get the idea. And we'll pop that up again with some dimensionals. I'm going to try to do a better job of holding up what I'm doing, because I've had some people say, I wish we could see closer to the, I wish you could get closer to the camera. So we'll try to do that a little bit more. So this is what we have so far. And then we're going to add a little bit of bling, a little bit of shimmer. I have some Starry Night, I always say Starry Night, Starry Sky metallic ribbon. And I'm going to add that with a glue dot. So I've already tied it in a bow. We'll just put that knot right on the glue dot, pinch it a little bit, and then add that to the bottom here of our little leaf, little branch. And then we're going to add some rhinestones. And I think I want to bring in some of that granite color. So I'm going to use the Stampin' Blends dark granite, gray granite marker, and just lightly color over. Now this is kind of a shade that doesn't show up very well on the rhinestones, but it does give just a little tiny bit of more of a neutral color. Whoops. Then we'll just add that around our branch like so. So there we go. Let me show you my other one. I think it turned out a little bit better. So I think I stamped in Starry Sky again over here instead of Night of Navy. So both of these are stamped in Starry Sky. We have that Starry Sky bow, and then you can see these rhinestones maybe a little bit better. They're colored a little bit more with the gray granite. So this is our very first card from our kit. You'll get all the parts and pieces to create this exact card. Anything that's stamped and then die cut really close like that, you're just going to get the scrap paper, and then you'll have to do the die cut yourself. If you don't have the dies, you'll have to do the, just fussy cutting for yourself. But the label will be already pre-die cut. Your embossed textured background will be all done too. So that's our first one. I like to do two cool versions if you know me. So here's my second version, and I started with Pacific Point. I did it on a vertical orientation this time. I used the same stripe, and then I used this kind of the splotchy designer series paper for the background, and then just have a little bit different positioning for my leaf. This is in Night of Navy. This is in Pacific Point, I believe. And then since we don't have a Pacific Point Stampin' Blends, I used the Tahitian Tide, and I thought that was pretty close for the coloring of the rhinestones. So there are the two cool versions. and this is the one that's going to be in your kit. All right, now let's try a fancy fold card. It's very simple. You're going to start out with like a vertical fold card. So this is going to be an 11 by 4 1/4. I'm using Starry Sky, and you're going to score right in the center at the 5 1/2 mark. And then you're also going to score from the center of the card, the score line here, up to the corner. So when you put it in your, let me just show you real quick. If you have your trimmer, you'll have your scoring blade up here. Remember, your cutting blade is the darker one, so get that out of the way. You're just going to put your top point right in the top of that, that little groove there, and then your score line down here is going to intersect right in that groove, and then you'll just do a quick score to make that diagonal score line. This is going to be a, I don't know what the actual name of it is, but it's an easel card. It's just like a corner easel card. So let's use our bone folder and give these a good crease. So your card is going to go up like this and be a little easel. You'll see what it looks like in a minute. So we'll set that aside and start building our background. So we're going to start with a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of gray granite. Then we have a 5 by 3 3/4 inch piece of basic white. And we're going to decorate that with some different designer series paper. This is a 5 by 2 inch piece. And we're going to put that at the bottom of the white piece. I'll have just a little bit of white showing, like so. And then I have another little piece here. It's 5 by 3/4 inch. We're going to add that right along the top. Just give that background some fun pattern and color. And then I'll add that to my gray granite piece. And we'll dress it up with a gray granite shimmer ribbon. And we'll tie it right in between those two designer series papers into a double knot. Make a little faux bow. Trim off the edges here. All right, now we're going to add this to our card base. And you want to take care, whoops, let me put it on the other side. So I just scooted it down to this side. Now you're going to want to take care that you're only going to put adhesive on this corner here, because this is going to, it'll lay flat and then it'll pop up, and you don't want it connected to this top part, part of the card base. So we're going to put tear-in tape. You could use liquid glue if you wanted to. And I want to just make sure I have a little bit of room on the edge, because I don't, since this doesn't go all the way to the edge, there's about a 1/4 inch gap there. So I want to make sure that that tape isn't going to be showing. We'll peel that off. And then we'll center that over the top. And there you go. So now you have, it'll open this way, and then it also is going to pop up that way. Now if you wanted to, I have that ribbon. You have to definitely make sure you have something secure if you have the ribbon showing. You could do that, you could tie the ribbon around the white card piece, and then you wouldn't have that ribbon showing in the back. So that's just kind of a preference how you want to do it. All right, let's finish the front of the card. I have a piece of basic white here that I have die cut with the Stylish Shapes circle. I think it's the second to largest circle. We're going to use that great big leaf again, this time in Starry Sky. Before we do that though, let's put our sentiment on there so we have some positioning. So our sentiment's going to be in gray granite this time. And it just says hello there. That way we know exactly where those leaves are going to go. So we'll ink those up. And then just add that. Isn't that so pretty? Just really simple and elegant. That's just going to go right here. Very classic design. Now we don't want any dimensionals to hit that ribbon, so we're going to do a 180 flip so we know exactly where to put those dimensionals. We'll pop that up here. And then again, we're going to use those rhinestones and some Starry Sky Stampin' Blends this time. Use the brush. You can use either end. I like to use the brush tip, just very gently. You don't want to fray the tip, so you just want to be very gentle with it. And then add those rhinestones. To the circle. So that's the front of the card. Now we're going to finish up the inside of the card. So we'll put this up here. We're going to bring back our leaf, Nature Prints leaf. And then this time, we're going to stamp on the inside and then have a kickstand. You need something to hold that that front of the card up when you want it displayed. So I'm going to stamp this little flower just on some scrap paper. And then you could use the die cut, but it doesn't cut the whole thing out. Just the flower. I mean, it cuts the whole thing out. It doesn't cut just the flower, and we just want the flower. So I'm just going to use my super sharp paper snips and cut that shape out quickly. A little fussy cutting. And we'll put one dimensional behind it. This is going to go on the inside, so this will be where our message is. I don't want to tack that down yet, but this is going to help me figure out where to position everything. So I'm going to place this the way I would want it to stand up. Hopefully you guys can see where that is. And we want this to hold this in place so that it's going to be like a little kickstand there. But before we get it put down, I wanted to stamp a little bit on it too, just a little bit of extra decoration. So I'm going to use that same leafy image and decorate it a little bit. It's so pretty. Isn't that awesome? I love that look. I love that particular leaf is just so beautiful. We'll add a little bit of seal. Position that on the inside. And now our card is done. So here they can open it up. And then if they want to display it, use that little flower kickstand. You can see how that just holds that up. Isn't that kind of cool? I love it. So that is our second card. You'll get all the parts and pieces for that. And I wanted to show you my other version, my Too Cool version. It's not really very different. This time I started with the gray granite. I used that same white piece with two different, well, I actually used the same spots, but I used more of a plain for the other image. And then the layer it's on is Night of Navy. This time the leaves are stamped in gray granite with kind of an overlapping Night of Navy sentiment and then Night of Navy rhinestones there. And then our flower is in gray granite. So I made the whole inside gray granite. Now, I love how this looks with this. Do you see that awesome die cut? It just really finishes that up. But I will tell you a secret. I wasn't planning on doing that. I went to stamp it. I mentioned before about how sometimes those red rubber stamps, you don't have them on there. You know, they're a little bit crooked. So when I stamped it, it was really crooked. And I had already stamped everything and put everything on here and it was beautiful. So I just did a little die cut and it ended up really making it so elegant and nice. So a beautiful finishing touch. So there are the Too Cool versions. And again, you'll get all the parts for this one in your kit. All right, let's go to the next card, which is so elegant and beautiful. We're going to start with basic white. And remember, for a card base, you always want to use thick, not the regular basic white, but the basic white thick. It's a little bit thicker, a little bit sturdier. And this time, our card front is going to have another piece of white. It's a white on white background. This is embossed with that beautiful fern texture. Can you see it in the, I hope you can see it because it's just gorgeous. And this is a 3 3/4 by 5-inch piece. So there is our beautiful white on white background. And this is when you go online and you see a bunch of pictures of different cards with the nature's prints, you see a lot of this style because it's just so pretty. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to stamp, let's see, let's do the sentiment first actually. So I have one of those die cuts that we've been looking at. We're going to use a different sentiment this time. It's going to be, let's do Starry Sky. This one says best wishes and happy thoughts. And that fits in there so beautifully. And I forgot to bring my punch over, but I already punched out a lasting label punch in gray granite. I love this shape, and I found out that it really layers so beautifully with this particular die. Isn't that nice? That the curves are just perfect for that. So I'm gonna layer those. And we'll put some dimensionals on here because we'll eventually pop them up. But now we're gonna do a little collage, a little bouquet, if you will. So that's gonna go right here on our card. So let's put a little bit of foliage and we'll stamp again with the Starry Sky. This time let's use one of these different images. And then let's do another fern image in Orchid Oasis. So you'll just get a scrap piece and you'll want to just stamp both of those pieces on there. Then you're going to want to use your die cut, your dies to die cut it. So I've already done that. So I have these two pieces ready to go. If you don't have the dies, you can always just fussy cut those. So we'll start to build a little cluster here. And that looks really pretty, but there's also some other beautiful dies in there that you can just cut out some cardstock. This is the Orchid Oasis, and I'm just going to stick those in there like this. And that's going to be my card. You could go to town and just put all kinds of different layers, you know, do it as much as you want, or just stick with one. There's just lots of ways you can build that up. So, all right, so that's kind of what I'm going for. I'm gonna use some Tombow glue to put these on. So just a little bit of that. And press that down and hold that for a little bit. Then we're gonna use a little bit more Tombow on the Fern image. And these little tiny guys are definitely gonna need some little dabs of Tombow. Not much, just a tiny dab. Let's see where we're at here. So maybe one right here. And another over here. Now we can pop that up. I just love how fast these cards come together. The dies make them come together so quickly and have such a beautiful finish. So there you go. And let's add more rhinestones. I think maybe we'll do the Starry Sky again. So let me find my Starry Sky. And this time, I always like to do odd numbers. 3 is kind of the thing. Just a little bit of sparkle. And there you go. So simple. Look at that beautiful texture, the layers. And again, if you want to add more, you can add more. If you want to just do it a little more simple, you can do that too. My Too Cool version, I just wanted to show you what it would look like if you did the horizontal. So I used a different sentiment. I stamped that in Orchid Oasis. I used the same images. I just stamped them in opposite colors. So this one's in Orchid Oasis and this one is in Starry Sky. And then my little pieces here are in Starry Sky. And I just added that one of them over here just to kind of balance it out. Starry Sky rhinestones. It's all pretty much the same, just a different orientation. So you could do, with the pieces that you get in your kit, you could do either one of these cards. All right. Are you ready for another fancy fold? I love a good fancy fold. This idea I got from one of my team members, Sue Hines, and she sent this in a swap, and this is my take on her fancy fold card that she gave me. So we started out with a quarter sheet, so no fold, just a quarter sheet. It's going to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This is gray granite. We're going to decorate that whole piece with a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of the Sun Prints paper. And then we're going to create a little pocket to hold a card. So this is a corner piece that we're going to add. It actually started out as a 3 1/2 by 3 1/2 piece of gray granite, just chopped it right in half diagonally. And then we put that beautiful fern texture on it. And we're going to put this down here in the corner and to create a little pocket. So again, we just want a little bit of adhesive on the edges. So again, I'm going to use my Tombow liquid multi-purpose glue. That's going to hold it nice and securely. And we're going to just put that flush to the edge of that original gray granite card base. Make sure you burnish along the edge so that it has nice contact, and then just hold it there for a few seconds. We're going to set that aside. Now we're going to put together the card that goes inside the pocket. So this is a piece of basic white. This is an 8 1/2 by by 3 1/4, I believe. Yes, 3 1/4, scored at 4 1/4, just like a normal card would be. We'll fold that, and this is going to stick in here like so, but we're going to decorate it first, and there's actually a cool little part of it that's going to overlap. So let me add, this is a 3 by 4 inch piece of gray granite sun prints paper. If you wanted to, you could use the other sides of this this paper. I'm gonna look, like I said, there's a little bit of writing on here and you can't really see what it says, but you can kind of tell which way is up and which way the words are kind of upside down. So be sure to look at that. So there's our card front, and then we're gonna have a little focal point on there. So we have a little layer here of gray granite. This is 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then a 2 by 3 inch piece of basic white. We're gonna stamp one of our images on there. We need to clean it up first. So I have my Simply Chamois here. A little squish squish, ready to go. Whoops, still a little bit. I have to say, Starry Sky ink is, at least my ink pad, just really has a lot of ink, and it's almost hard to clean because there's so much ink on it. I don't know if it's just extra juicy or what it is, but anyway, just a little side note. I don't know if it's the color or whether it's my particular ink pad. So I'm going to stamp that in gray granite, and then I'm going to stamp the flower image. We also have to clean that one. Let me stamp off a little bit of ink. All right, very good. We'll stamp that on another scrap piece. So you're going to get 2 pieces of the basic white that look identical. One is for the actual card, and then one is just a scrap piece. You're going to want to die cut this flower piece like so. And then we're just going to add that over the top. So if you wanted to, you could do like a masking technique to get the same kind of an effect. Let me put some multi-purpose glue here on the smaller parts. But I just wanted it kind of, you know, to be overlapping with this pretty flower. All right. We'll add some seal to the back. And layer it on our gray granite piece. Now, here's the fun part. We're going to pop this up with dimensionals. Don't have to get too fancy here. But hold on, before I do that, I want to share with you. We're going to tuck this card in here, and then when you add these, you do have to get fancy with it. I just said you didn't have to, but you do, because you want this part to go over your pocket. So you don't want any dimensionals on this corner. So make sure that you have dimensional up here, here, and down here, and maybe in the middle, but nothing over in that side bottom corner. So we'll center that. So it is fancy. I said it wasn't. I lied. And then see how that fits in there? Isn't that cool? I love it. That's what you call too cool, my friends. So it just kind of sneaks right in there. But wait, there's more. We need a sentiment on there, right? So I'm going to use that hello sentiment. And we stamped that in gray granite before, so we're ready again with gray granite. I love this monochromatic look. We have a little hello there. This is a basic white, stylish shapes, the small circle. And when this comes in, we also want it to go under the hello there. So again, you're going to kind of put your dimensionals on the corner here so that this corner, there's no corners on a circle, but you know what I'm saying. You want this edge to be kind of free, so that when this comes into that pocket, it's going to also go under the circle. Isn't that awesome? Just kind of layers and overlaps right there. I love that. So, and then if you want to, you can finish the inside of your card a little bit. Let me see if I did. I can't remember if I did so. Yeah. So my sample card that I just did a little bit of stamping on the inside, finish it up. And then I also added a couple of iridescent pearls. So you can see a little bit of shine there. And because it's kind of monochromatic, I just put a little bit of Wink of Stella on the flower. And also I just dotted it all over the little weed that's there. Can you see that shimmer? I hope that the camera's picking it up, because just that little tiny bit of shimmer along with the shimmer and shine in the iridescent pearls just really makes this card so, so cute. So again, you'll have all the parts and pieces to make this really cool fancy fold card. Thank you so much, Sue Hines. Let's see hers. This is what she sent me. Sue Hines sent this one. Again, if you want to flip the papers over, you'd still have the gray granite for your background, but you could have the different blues for the Designer Series papers. She used Designer Series paper for the to decorate the corner piece. I just wanted to use that Fern embossing over here, partially because she used the Fern up here and she had stamped on it first and then embossed. Well, if it's in my kit, I can't do that because you would have to stamp on it and then you wouldn't have the embossing on it. So I just made it a little bit different so that you guys can enjoy that. Let me see if she did anything on the inside. Just a little flower on the inside. Isn't that sweet? Thank you so much, Sue. So you'll have all the parts and pieces for this one. And then we have one more card. Can you stand it? All right. This one is going to start with Night of Navy. And it's the traditional 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. This is going to be a horizontal card, and it's very similar to what we've seen with one of the other cards, just because it's so pretty to layer all those different die cuts and pieces. So this time we have a 5 by 3 3/4 inch piece of gray granite. We're going to add that to a basic white background this time. And that background piece is the 5 1/4 by 4. And then before we put that on, I'm going to add some white seam binding ribbon. You can tie it in a bow if you want to. I don't know if I'll have enough. It seems like I have a lot here. I don't know if that's going to be how long I give you. I thought that I had it a little bit shorter, but anyway, if you have it this long, you could tie it in a bow. I like quick and easy, so I just do a little double knot. I'm going to scooch this over to the side, and instead of having it more like a bow, I'm actually going to pull this so that both tails go in one direction. So it's kind of flying off of the card. And then I'll add that to my background. This ribbon is so nice. It's thin, it's easy to, doesn't make your card bulky, easy to work with. It is a little bit static prone, so that's the only drawback. All right, now we're gonna have some different parts and pieces here. Again, let's start with our sentiment. Now this shape is not included in the Natural Prints dies. It's actually from the All That dies. I don't know if you guys remember the He's the Man class that we did a while back, but this comes in the All That dies from that set or that bundle. And I'm telling you what, even if you didn't want the stamp set, the different pieces and labels that come in there in that particular die set. Really cute. So check that out. Anyway, so that's the cute basic white die that we're going to start with. And sorry, I had to reach over and get my card so I knew what it looked like. Okay, we're going to start with Starry Sky. And another sentiment that we haven't used yet. You're on my mind. This time I wanted to use that splotchy image, and I thought it'd be fun to overlap that with the sentiment. So we'll do that in gray granite. I didn't want it to be too dark though, so we're going to stamp off first, and then a little bit here, stamp off, and a little bit here. So just a little bit of texture on there. And then, like one of the previous cards, we're just gonna start layering things. So I've already stamped and die cut this leaf piece, and this is in Night of Navy. So we can put him right here. I also have a fern. This is in gray granite. And I like this one kind of coming out this way. And then a couple more die cuts. And this is in Starry Sky. I wanted to point out something too. This is really handy with the die cuts. So these shapes are really nice if you're going to make multiple cards, because there's actually 2 in the die set. And those smaller ones that we just used, there's actually 1, 2, 3 of those shapes. So you can run through multiples in one time through your die cutting machine. So I love that. I love when they give you multiples. It just makes it so much faster and easier. All right, let's just start layering this. And I'm going to put this flat down on there, not no dimensionals this time. So we'll use a little bit of the Tombow again. And then this piece, whoops, got a little crazy with that glue. And then these definitely need the Tombow, just little tiny dabs. And I'm just going to kind of do it here and there. And this piece is going to come out this way. And then one more piece. I hope you're loving this class. You're loving the different blue colors and the pretty imagery. All right, let's pop up our sentiment over the top here. And we'll finish this one up with some iridescent pearls again. You're on my mind. Close my glue up before I have it dry out. All right, and then this is gonna have, we're gonna do 3 again. I just like doing 3. One stuck to me because of I have glue on my finger. All right, there we go. So this, you'll have all the parts and pieces for this one. And again, it's very similar to this version. It's just kind of another horizontal version. It's just the kind of the classic look that you're going to get with these different floral pieces. Now here's another way that you could do it, just a little bit different. This was my Too Cool version. I started with the gray granite. I had Starry Sky for the background, textured again with the fern. This time I just used that large leafy image again. I stamped it on gray granite and also basic white and layered them kind of like a shadowy, gives you a little bit of depth. Use the die that comes with the natural Prints dies. And again with the vertical, so that's just kind of a different look. I really like how that turned out. Okay, there you have it. Let me get all the cards back that you're going to have in your 5-card class kit. So let's see, we'll have our easel, we have our other fancy fold pocket corner card, our best wishes card, and this heartfelt thank you card. So you're going to get all the parts and pieces that you need to make these beautiful nature prints cards. And again, anything that's stamped and then die cut, so anything like this, stamped and die cut, you're just going to get scrap paper for that. But everything else is going to be die cut for you. These little pieces here will be die cut for you. Everything will be embossed if it's texture embossed. So it's going to be really easy for you to put together. If you would like to have this kit for free, all you need to do is place a $40 minimum order at my toocoolstamping.com website. Just go there to toocoolstamping.com, click on the Shop Now link. And when you check out, at the top right-hand side, make sure that you put that host code NGZR MGGR. That's going to let me know which class that you wanted for free. And we'll get that out to you by August 30th. You'll have until the 23rd of August, 2022, to earn this particular Nature Prints 5-card live class kit. All right, everyone, thank you so very much for joining me. It's so good to be with you again, and I look forward to being with you again. I'm not sure when the next one is, and I appreciate your patience and understanding that I'm trying to spend a lot of time with my family and my daughter. She's almost 9 months old already. I know that I've been getting a lot of grief that I haven't put pictures up, so I will get to that as soon as I can. But I've just been trying to focus on her. So I wait until I actually have my cards all the way done and ready to go before I say when I'm going to have the class, because otherwise, if I put the date out there and for something, something comes up, I get really stressed, and I don't want to lose sleep these days. Whenever I can get sleep, I need to get sleep. So I wait till I have everything done, which takes forever when you're trying to take care of a little one at the same time. But I will be doing my darndest to get the next class kit out to you as soon as possible. And just stay tuned, hang in there, and I will let you know when that's going to happen. We'll try to get another one in here before the end of the month. That's my goal. So don't hold me to that, but that's my goal. Anyway, good to see you guys again. Thanks again for joining me. I appreciate you stopping by here live. If you're watching the replay, thanks for joining me. After the fact, we always love for you to watch at any time, and hopefully you will place an order and get this free kit for yourself and try it out. All right, everyone, I'll see you next time. Until then, this is Angie with Too Cool Stamping. Thanks. Bye-bye.